Hey guys, Carlo Customs here, back again with another showcase video, but this time I have a spin-off figure from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and here I have Ego here, as portrayed by Kurt Russell in the movie. So yeah, this figure was pretty fun to make, pretty quick to throw together, if I do say so myself. I mean, it only took me like a week. Nah, but just kidding though. It was actually really fun to throw together. He had a lot of interesting 3D elements, and a lot of the designs on him were just visually impressive, at least I think so, and bringing that over to LEGO was also pretty fun, and I'm talking about what I probably should be talking about when I actually get a close-up of this guy. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so here we have Ego here, straight from the movie, and Ego was actually quite simple to make, to be completely honest. I mean, it was a little bit of sculpting work here and there, and a few other 3D elements with some electrical tape, like right here and all the arms. But other than that, he was actually pretty simple to make and actually quite fun to make. So to go over with his feet, as I always like to do with my LEGO custom minifigures. So first off, to make his feet were, so the bottom of his feet here have these white, like very light tan, like soles. And up here, there's like a little bit of a darker tan. And on the inside right there, you can sort of see like little bit of laces right there, little patches of brown that accurate to his shoes in the movie, and it's also there and there on the minifigure right there. And also he has these sort of little gauntlets on his legs. Oh no, those are called shin guards, my bad, sorry, I'm an idiot. And those were acquired using like a silvery brown color. And yeah, and then going up from his legs are some straps. I don't know what they do in the movie, but he's got straps on his legs, and they wrap to this glued on cloth piece right here, and they also wrap onto the back of the legs here. And that's what it looks like under there, underneath his cape, which is also cut from a LEGO Batman cape, because I had literally no other capes. And there's an equal looking cloth piece right there, wrapping the straps together. And also, I should mention before this goes any further on that the straps are actually on the inside of the figure's legs. So, there you go right there. Sorry, I'm getting really hard light here. Maybe if I just... And yeah, now it's even worse. So, screw it. I guess you guys will never be able to see it because lighting sucks. And so to move on to some of the more interesting features about him, he has a cloth sash right here, and those also leading to a cloth belt, which are actually lead together because they were glued together. And the cloth belt, as you can see, continues on to the back of the minifigure too. And also, if you're wondering, yeah, if you haven't already guessed, I have no plans to take this thing off because the cape has sort of cemented itself with, like, the clay, so I can't really move it. So there's no point on painting on a back or doing anything for a back. So he'll always just look like this. And, you know, he's got these sort of silvery patches here. I don't know what they are. They're, like, some sort of weird metal with some, Guardians like writing, like some sort of Marvel like Guardians writing that like nobody knows, but it's there. And also that like encrypting is also on his gauntlets and his shoulder pads, and it's for each one. Oh, and also on the back of each arm, there's a lot of hidden detail. So on the back of each arm, there's like little thread marks on each arm. So that's a cool little feature, not much. And he has a sculpted he has some sculpted cloth right here underneath his chin, and that's also leading up to his little buckles, I guess. I mean, they don't really buckle onto anything. I guess it buckles onto the cloth. But that was made from painted electrical tape. And yeah, other than that, the figure is pretty self-explanatory for that. But other than the head is where everything like comes together. The head was made solely from a sculpted like hairpiece and beard, obviously from green stuff, and that also led to like a sculpted on. It was also sculpted on a Superman head by the way, and once I sculpted it on, it just was a process of painting the thing, withering it, and then going to the face. On the face, as you can see right there, I made his eyebrows gray and added a few wrinkle marks to show like more the better appearance to Russell Crowe. And yeah, so that has to do it for Ego. So that's one last, here's the last little 360 shot of him. Amazing figure and also an amazing character. So that's it. That's it for Ego. But that's not it for this showcase. If you stick around, you'll see some updates that I've made to the original crew from Guardians of the Galaxy. Alright, so here we go with the updated figures from the original showcase. So here's Drax, and I just made a few simple updates to Drax here. So first off, the most noticeable update, well, is first I gave him this belt piece. This is not really a belt piece. It's actually a tail piece from Rocket, and I cut off the tail to glue onto Rocket, so I have this extra piece left. So what I did is I outlined the abs and the tattoos to make it look continuous and keep the continuity with the torso. And so that made it that, like, you know, Drax, he looks a lot taller than your average minifigure, because he looks pretty small with his, but he looks pretty short with, like, compared to Star-Lord, because Star-Lord has hair. But compared to Nebula here, you know, he's noticeably a little bit bigger. And also that leads to our, well, it doesn't lead to it at all, but the next thing that I changed about him was, well, you may have noticed that in the original showcase that some of his green tints was showing through. Well, that was because this guy was originally a very, very grayish green. And the reason of that is because I thought he was a very, very, like, grayish green in the movie, and even in the last movie before it. So, yeah, that's what I figured, but making a closer inspection to it, I realized that he was actually a pure gray, so I had to repaint and weave around my own tattoos and all, like, the facial details to make him look like exactly like how he is from the trailers. And yeah, he looks a lot better, and I don't have to ever look back at this guy in disgust. So I'm really, really glad about that I like my own minifigure. Anyways, let's get to Nebula here. And Nebula, she just had, once again, a few simple changes. So as you can see on the shoes, on the knee pads, and on the sort of shoulder pads, and this band going around her arm, all I did was add a few highlights with some silver red. And the reason I did that is because there are some, like, hard metal parts of her costume in the movie, so I knew I had to implicate that somewhere on the figure, so, you know, I just made these few simple updates. Oh, and also, I found this blue hand. I couldn't find it for the showcase video, but lo and behold, one day after the video went up, I found her hand. So, yeah, now she has a hand that actually looks like her hand in the movie. So, that's cool. But other than that, completely the same minifigure, because the figure was already pretty satisfying to me in the first place. And now we're moving on to Mantis here. And Mantis, she has, once again, some pretty small changes. So, first of all, I changed out the back of her waist cape here, and the reason why is because I realized after seeing the movie that she has, like, more waist cape than I saw, like, on the back of her waist. So you can see right there, I just cut off this triangle of electrical tape, then I painted it in olive green, and then, you know, just gave it its necessary lines, and yeah, now her waist looks completed. And also around her hair, I gave her all these sorts of turquoise highlights within the seams of her hair. So a little bit on the front here and there. And also on this side too, you can see it all. And her face is where the most changes are made, kind of. Like, well, it makes her expression look more noticeable. Because this time around, I got rid of her pupils and replaced them with some glare effects. Because if you look at minifigure eyes, you'll realize how the pupils are already pretty small. And making them look any smaller kind of looks ridiculous. So I would decide to go with the glare, because that kind of would look that much better. But yeah, that's just me. And that also leads to, I believe, is our last updated figure. We have Yondu here. And Yondu, he was a pretty simple figure to update, because everything other than, like, what you see here is, like, completely kept the same from the original showcase. The only differences that had been made is his arrow, because when it came around to the first time when I made his arrow, I couldn't find my Brick Forge arrows, but apparently they were hidden underneath my desk where I paint. So now I found them, and I painted one up. Now it looks good. And by the way, this is what the side of his torso looks like. Same on the other side, too. And also, I don't think I did this, but in the original showcase, I don't think I show you guys the back of his figure, the back of this figure. So, there you go. That's the back of Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed these updated figures and Ego. So yeah, without further ado, let's wrap this whole entire showcase up. Okay guys, so thank you guys so much for enjoying this video. I hope you guys all have a happy weekend because, you know, we're getting closer and closer to Wonder Woman, and the more closer that things start to get hectic around here, because I need to wrap up like 3 Wonder Woman figures, record and edit the showcase and the thumbnail, and get it all ready to go like before the end of the month, because if you guys don't know, at the end of the month I will be going to Washington, so make sure to be on my Instagram to see some pretty cool stuff, hopefully, that I can get up there. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram, VidMe, and Twitter. Links to all those will be below. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye!